Only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, that should be.
Beyonce and Jay Z just got dragged straight into Diddy's legal chaos, and the streets are buzzing that Diddy's legal team might be ready to toss the Carters under the bus with zero hesitation. It's no secret that Diddy's been scrambling, allegedly willing to name drop anyone to save himself. But nobody expected Jay Z to be one of the first names caught in the crossfire, especially not this early in the game. Word is, whatever's on those mysterious tapes is so wild that Beyonce's not sticking around to see how things unravel. What's got her so shook? Whatever's on there must be next level bad if she's seriously considering walking away from Jay Z. People are whispering that it could be serious enough to trigger a full-on split. Like, what exactly did those tapes catch? Let's dive into it. If you've been watching this scandal unfold, then you already know why the Carters have been circling this storm from day one. Jay Z and Diddy were tight. So tight that Diddy once said only 2 people on earth could call him by his real name. Sean.
One person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling.
And Jay Z was one of them. And Beyonce? Some folks have been hinting for years that she might have known a little bit about Diddy's shady dealings, just enough to make you wonder. But here's the kicker. We've never had solid receipts to back that up. So all eyes stayed on Jay Z until now. Looks like there might be some serious truth behind the whispers, because folks are saying Beyonce is done with Jay Z's mess dragging her name through the mud. She's allegedly fed up with his drama making her look bad. And now she's thinking about cutting him off for good. Blue Ivy's got a career that's just starting to shine, and Jay Z's antics already threw a dark cloud over the premiere of her first film, Mufasa. And let's talk about Blue on that Cowboy Carter tour. She's been shutting down the stage every night. Word is she might be working on some new music, too. That's her baby girl. Now the streets are talking, saying Beyonce is already making quiet moves to walk away. Nothing loud, nothing messy, because that's just not her style. Like it or not, Beyonce keeps her private life locked down. And this possible divorce? She's handling it just as privately. Can you blame her, though? She's protecting her image, her legacy, and most importantly, her kids. She's not about to let this circus become her reality. Insiders are claiming she's taking notes from the Will and Jada playbook. Real quiet separation, no big announcement. Allegedly, she's waiting until the trial's over and her tour wraps up to drop the classic line, "We've been apart for a while now, just focusing on the kids." And that'll be that. No drama, no back and forth, just Beyonce sliding out the side door like a boss. Beyonce's playing it real smooth, keeping her hands clean while looking like the loyal wife who had no clue what was going on. So when the headlines finally explode, she can spin the whole situation in her favor and come out looking stronger than ever. Total power move. And let's be honest, with all the rumors that have surrounded her marriage to Jay Z over the years, flipping the story wouldn't even be hard. The Bay Hive has been begging her to leave Jay Z for years, so if there was ever a perfect time to make that move, this might be it. And people have always given their relationship the side eye, especially when it comes to how it all started. Folks have pointed out that Jay Z was nearly 30 when he first got involved with Beyonce, who, according to reports at the time, was just around 16. That age gap hits way different when you look back with fresh perspective. In one interview, Beyonce cleared the air saying, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." So based on her side, things didn't get romantic until she was 19 and Jay Z was already 31, but fans still weren't sold. The age difference raised serious eyebrows. And Jay Z, he didn't help things either. In a 2007 interview with Charlie Rose, he slipped up and said he met Beyonce 10 years ago. their first meeting in 1997. That would have made her just 16 while he was 27 or 28. That's got people looking real sideways now, especially with everything else coming out. Honestly, it ain't surprising that people keep casting Beyoncé as the victim in all this. Let's be real. The image of a grown man in his late 20s getting involved with a teenage girl, that's always going to make people uncomfortable. And every time Jay Z ends up in hot water online, he's the one catching all the smoke, while Beyoncé floats right over the chaos like nothing touches her. Folks act like she's too flawless to ever get mixed up in anything shady. But come on, people have been whispering for years that she's been pulling strings behind the scenes, allegedly using her clout to make life harder for other artists. Still, somehow she always walks away untouched. Meanwhile, Jay Z keeps getting dragged from every angle. It's like she's been living in this protective bubble. Barely anyone questions her role in the bigger picture. But things really started heating up last year when blogger Storm Monroe came out with some wild claims. According to what his sources said, Beyoncé had been quietly putting together her escape plan, laying the groundwork to leave Jay Z way before any of this drama hit the fan. And the Hive, they were living for it. The idea of Beyoncé finally cutting ties and stepping into a new era without Jay Z had them ready to throw a celebration. Beyoncé finally cutting ties with Jay Z hits extra hard now, especially after Storm Monroe and Tasha K started dropping bombs about Jay possibly being tangled up in serious legal trouble.
But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for."
And we're not just talking another messy celebrity headline. This is alleged Diddy-level dirt that could shake the whole industry from top to bottom. Storm's claims had the internet spinning, but let's not pretend he was the first one to raise the alarm. That credit goes to Jaguar Wright, who lit the fuse last year. Right after Cassie's lawsuit rocked the scene, Jaguar popped up and warned everybody, saying Jay-Z was next. She even hinted that some major players were already moving behind the scenes to expose his allegedly shady business dealings.
Because the Diddy. Oh! Diddy done turned over tapes. Allegedly, with the Carters. In some freak off. And the Beyonce. How on the go? And the tapes had jizz all over it.
And now, the puzzle pieces are finally snapping into place. That tight bond between Jay Z and Diddy, yeah, it's starting to look way too convenient. You know what they say? Birds of a feather flock together. And now there's talk that Jay Z might even be worse than Diddy. That kind of whisper will stop you cold. With Diddy already drowning in serious allegations, the idea that Jay could be sitting on even darker secrets is straight up chilling. Makes you wonder what some of these stars are really doing once the cameras stop rolling and the lights go off. For the longest time, people just painted Jay Z as the typical cheating husband. But now, folks are starting to think there might be a whole other side to him that we've never seen. And it might be darker than we ever imagined. Imagine cheating on Beyoncé, the nerve. And let's be real, Becky with the good hair was just the tip of the iceberg. Word is, Jay Z had a whole lineup of women over the years. So if Beyoncé is finally planning to walk away, nobody's shocked. But here's the real bomb. Insiders are saying the last straw wasn't just the cheating. It was something way darker. Rumor has it, Beyoncé found out that Jay Z and Diddy allegedly recorded her without her consent. Yeah, you heard that right. Even worse, word on the streets is that one of her tapes might have been among the ones the Fed seized during the raid on Diddy last year. And now there's a real risk that footage could leak. That's not just messy, that's scary.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and...
Correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it? Or
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
You
can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was graphic in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at
Okay.
a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded.
And guess who hinted at this way back? Jaguar Wright. She claimed there was a tape showing Beyoncé in a compromising situation and that Beyoncé allegedly had no idea she was even being filmed. According to her, it was done in secret, using hidden cameras, without Beyoncé's knowledge or consent. That's beyond shady. Even lawyer Ariel Mitchell-Kidd backed this up. She said a client contacted her trying to broker the sale of a private tape featuring one of the most famous women in the industry. Ariel claimed the person in the video had no idea they were being recorded, which lines up with Jaguar's warning. That's wildly invasive. And honestly, if Beyoncé ends up filing for divorce over this, no one would blame her one bit. This situation is next level messy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you Team Bey on this? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in on all the drama and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. See you in the next one.